legal ramifications at the time if they had been caught?
Well, he'd have probably lost his job, but he would have lost his job. But I really don't know that much. I mean, much worse for guys. But you know, for guys, they would have been put in prison, and sodomites was against the law. But there wasn't a law against lesbianism because it didn't exist, as far as Queen Victoria was concerned. So there wasn't actually a law against it, as far as I believe. And so I think they probably would have been ostracised. They'd have probably had to move, but they'd have picked up and gone somewhere else and done the same thing, I suspect, in the time before newspapers and internet.
But you had, you know, your couple has the advantage of being able to really function in society in a perfectly reasonable way, whereas Albert is so isolated and so alone and so shut down and so subdued. So you get to be this sort of boisterous character, and Close has to really convey so much in a very. It was even harder, I think, in a weird way.
Yeah, she didn't
very restrained.
Didn't have any of the things, you know. The other thing about if anybody was to take on a persona or to act a part, so much of it would depend on how confident you are, how shy you are, how naturally talkative you are, how communicative you are, how your own personality would come into that. And I always felt that, you know, Albert is a very scared human being who's had a terrible time, and whose way of coping is to just shut down and not let anybody in, to avoid any intimacy whatsoever. She's not surrendering to anything, she's not, you know, rebelling against anything, she's just shut down. And because there's a lack of confidence, a lack of self-esteem, a lack of role models, somehow Hubert, who also had a pretty terrible time, bringing her personality comes to the fore and goes, well, if I'm going to let you have the best of me, so come over here and give us a bit of that. And, you know, her way is to say, right, come over here and dare me that I'm not okay. And she's got a lot of humour, she's got a lot of belief. She doesn't believe she's doing anything wrong. So, and she's strong, she's naturally strong, she's a big girl.
So when Hubert initially threatens Albert Nobbs, you know, Albert Nobbs completely falls apart.
Terrified, absolutely
and
terrified.
begs her, not, you know, what she thinks, the man that she thinks Hubert is, not to reveal.
Yeah, but the other thing Hubert has is that she really has, like many, many people, we all have had lives, we all had things in our life, and that aren't nice. And she's had things that are really not nice. You know, clearly she got beaten up by her husband and blah blah blah. And so, you know, she's got a huge amount of compassion and empathy and warmth and all of those things which we think of as very feminine qualities, like nurturing qualities. Of course they're not, that's just, I mean, they're also male. You know what I mean? We think of it as a very female thing. And Hubert has all of that as well to offer to Albert, and to show her the possibility of another life.
So what I think, you know, is part of the reason that people are drawn to the subject matter in this film is that there's such a limited range of parts available to women in movies these days. And
these
so
ones are out there.
You know, this must have seemed like real manna from heaven to you.
Yeah, it was really good fun. It was. You read it and you go, I'm in. Do you want to do this? Yes!